Hello everyone, I just, on Tuesday, got out of seeing Another WolfCop. Very limited Canadian release. It was pretty much in theaters for all of 4 days. It's a very independent movie. It's the sequel to WolfCop, which was a GPC episode a year or two ago. Those guys were awesome. They actually sent me the screener when I asked for it. I never asked for one for this because I figured I'd get to see it in theaters. And I did. How to describe it? It's everybody from the same one came back. There was a lot of danger actually with this because the prequel, or sorry, the previews, the trailer. That's the word. Wasn't that great. It had too much of the silly comedic stuff, and I thought they were going too far into hobo with a shotgun territory instead of simply being kind of a refined Canadian werewolf comedy horror. Because the first one, as I went through detail, is very much like you could see it's an independent movie. But it had a basic structure, like a superhero origin movie would, in growing into what it is. And I quite liked it, like the twists and turns, and it was fun and well executed and good. And there's some off stuff where it's like you should have gone all out, but besides the point. This one opens right away with the werewolf, and we're there, and then we hold off on things as investigation happens. And it's interesting, like what's happening, what's going on. But they don't really go too into what it is. And yet it's on the nose. It's like it takes its time for everyone to catch up to what we already know because we got it immediately. And that always is a bit tricky when the audience figures it out immediately because the movie gives you the info to do it. And then the movie takes a half hour to 45 minutes to get to the same point. It's not all that great. Especially when they're trying to be investigative. Like they could have held off on some stuff so we learned along with the characters. But we do get Willie back. They explain that with the changeling thing, so he's back in it. And we get his sister, who's a very fun character in what they do with her. And they introduce aspects that feel like they were holding off from the first one that they got to do here, including some aspects of how to be a werewolf without the full moon. So it's a fun thing they do with that. But they have a big brawl at the end with a hockey fight. And of course hockey, because Canada, right? And that's what it felt like. It's like, guys, you don't have... no. Because they didn't really play into the fact of being hockey at all. They just fought on ice. They did bring in this big robot goon thing, which was kind of neat. I love the idea of science versus mythology. I've gone over that stuff many times. And they're fighting, and it is this crazy brawl. But he never comes back. And it seemed like he was supposed to be a prototype for the hockey thing, but he wasn't. Or even the goalie, but he wasn't. It kind of fell apart. And this movie overall was just missing something, I feel like. I can't quite place it. The soundtrack was a lot of fun. They had a specific song for a specific thing. It was very good. I recommend it. If you like the first one, absolutely see it. Like it's a hair off of the first one. I think I gave them both 3 out of 5. I can't remember. It's that close range. I don't regret the movie at all. It's just... there was something missing, but I can't put my finger on it, and I can't quite explain that any better than that. I don't think I went all out with it. I think that when it went to the hockey rink, I was like, oh, we're doing this, are we? Like, we've seen that many times in Canadian movies, guys, and even non-Canadian movies, but it's like, it doesn't have to go there just because it's Canadian. But it did promise WolfCop will return, so we'll see what happens with that. I do plan to pick it up later on physical media, as I do. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And we had fun watching it, but I wasn't like, yeah, you gotta see it, which kind of bums me out, because I was hoping for that. But it was a lot better than the trailer, because the trailer focused on some of the really goofiest parts, which aren't really in it much. But that was the focus. I went, oh no. It's a lot better than that, so thank God for that. But that's that. I can't really say much more than that. Check it out. I know it's a damning review, but I liked it a lot. I do recommend it, but I think it was the missed potential which has me a bit bummed. That's all. So, that's that. Check out guiltypleasurecinema.com, Cyclops Scott on YouTube and socials. I'll see you next time.